Hi, I'm Carolyn Baker. I am the co-author of Extinction Dialogues, How to Live with Death in Mind with Guy McPherson. And we wrote this book last summer. We were actually asked to write this book. And we came together and worked on it very quickly. It did not take long. I think production, as far as the writing part, took maybe 6 weeks to 2 months. We're very happy about this book because it's a wonderful marriage of scientific information regarding climate change and how we can respond given the dire situation that we're in with catastrophic climate change. How we can respond to this emotionally and spiritually, living not only with death in mind but also with the fullness of life in mind. Yeah, I was asked to respond to how I approach writing a book. I think how I approach it is that the book begins to write me. You know, some information or inspiration comes and I absolutely have to write it. I've never had writer's block. I hope that I never do. I pretty much just allow the words to flow through me, and I think one of the most challenging parts of the actual writing process is finding the exact words that I want. I usually keep a thesaurus handy to really have the juiciest, most choice words possible to describe and to communicate what I want to communicate. Well, my talents aren't very secret, actually. I do a lot of workshops and have made podcasts in which I tell a story with a drum. I'm very interested in mythology and traditional fairy stories, and I find that those are best told alongside the heartbeat of the drum. So as I do workshops, I offer this, and then I also provide an opportunity for the audience who's listening and in the room with me to just express what the story brought up for them. And usually this is very rich material that takes us more deeply into whatever we're focusing on in the workshop. Actually, my next book, which was just recently accepted for publication, is Dark Gold, The Human Shadow and the Global Crisis. And the purpose of this book really is to help the reader understand the human shadow and get to know it and become familiar with it and develop a relationship with it for the purpose of healing it. In the book I talk about how the shadow, that unconscious part of us that we have often sent away, can sabotage our lives and cause us to be other than we really wish to be as human beings, causes us to be out of relationship with the earth and the ecosystems. So I'm looking forward to the publication of that book. It was greatly inspired by my friend and colleague Andrew Harvey, and he will be providing the foreword for this book. I am grateful to Tay and Lane for wanting to publish this book and take my work further out into the world. One of the things that I'm doing in my life at this particular time is assisting people emotionally and spiritually in preparing for what I consider a rather daunting future given our situation with abrupt climate change. And one of the things that I find people consistently experiencing as I travel and as I communicate with folks is grief. And so I've been doing a lot of work lately offering grief workshops in the West Africa tradition of Malidoma Somé and Sobanfu Somé, offering people an opportunity to grieve together in a safe and supportive environment. I love this work, and it is a deep labor of love that I get to share with folks and watch people really open up and become more deeply connected with each other, with themselves, and with the earth in the process. In addition to my forthcoming book, I'm also involved in a project right now of creating an online symposium in which I and my team members are bringing together folks who are experts on the current situation in many areas, but they're not just going to be delivering more data. I find that people in these times are very, very weary of just more information, more science, more data. Their hearts are hungry for heartful presentations, and so this is most likely to be a symposium that is not a bunch of talking heads, but a gathering of talking hearts. And so please do stay tuned as we announce this forthcoming symposium, probably in the fall of 2015. Things are changing very rapidly, and the world is not what it was just a year ago, and a year from now it won't be exactly as it is now. So please join us, and you can follow our announcements about this on my website at www.carolynbaker.net, and also you can listen to my radio show, The Lifeboat Hour, on Progressive Radio Network.